Welcome to another Rocky Mountain Adult Cystic Fibrosis Community Introductory Interview. I'm Corey, and I'm here today with Chad, who is also a member of our community and living with cystic fibrosis. Welcome, Chad.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for taking the time to be with me today.
Of course.
So let's just jump right into the first question I have for you here is I know that you are not originally from Colorado, and I'm just wondering if you can share a little bit with us about how you ended up here in Denver now.
Sure. It's a little bit of a winding story, so you have to bear with me. But I had a few friends that went to college out here, and I actually finished my undergrad as an elementary school teacher. And so I was trying to figure out what my next phase in life was going to be. So I got in my car and I scheduled a bunch of interviews, and I spent about 10 weeks driving around the country by myself. And I don't know how many thousands of miles. It's quite an experience. But I wound up landing in Boulder, of all places, because Boulder is awesome. And before I even knew it, 4 years had gone by, and I had already quit teaching and wanted some other path in life. And so I went back to Chicago to kind of get myself together and get prereqs to get to PA school, which is what I do now. And as soon as I left, I always wanted to come back. I just needed to kind of get to the next phase in life. And so I finally convinced my wife at the time to come out and visit, and we quit our jobs and sold our house, and we were here within 3 months of visiting. So I've been here about 6 years now. So that's how that went.
Wow, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I know you're an EMT, is that correct?
Well, I was an EMT. I've been a PA for about 12 years now.
You are a PA now. Okay. So, and do you do some work in the ER, or how is that for you working, having cystic fibrosis, but working in the medical system, especially in the ER?
It's challenging. So I started as an EMT and an ER tech. And so overall, I've probably been doing medicine almost 20 years now, which is a long time. It makes me feel pretty old, but it's quite a balance. You know that you're helping people, and I'm good at it, and I feel comfortable in that role. But obviously, being compromised and at risk carries, has probably caused some infections at some point, caused some hospitalizations at some point. And I guess that was just the calculated risk I made in my life. I wanted to do something that mattered, and this matters to me. And I know I make a huge difference in people's lives in the worst day of their life. And I'm good at it. And I'm good. I can relate to people. I have empathy, given that everything that we as a community have gone through in life. So I think that served me well. But of course, it's not without risk. And I'm sure the clinic team, whichever place that I've been at, has probably told me not to do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can certainly imagine that you would be a really valuable asset to someone coming in that type of experience. So what do you do to keep yourself healthy? Just either body, mind, or spirit? You could answer any part of that. But yeah, what do you do to kind of keep yourself going and healthy?
Sure. Well, of course, physical activity is important for any of us with CF. Getting your heart rate up, doing some cardio, getting some clearance. But I have to admit that I'm not a gym rat. I've never been like a lifter or like a super runner. I can't run. I don't want to run unless someone is chasing me, and so that's not my thing. I like to hike. But of course, with the fires recently, that's been a no-go. But I try to get that stuff in, maybe not as regularly as some other people. But my focus to keep myself strong and healthy is mental health. And so, I really try to, have a couple outlets for myself to help cope with life with CF and with my career. It's very stressful. And so you need something to balance that out. So, I try to meditate, I do yoga, as regularly as I can, or when you feel good. Everybody can relate to that. And, I try to, music is really my outlet. So I listen to music all the time. I play music. It's a very good cathartic thing for me to balance myself out and keep myself in good mental spirits, which I think is super important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. I think that mental health piece really can help facilitate all other aspects of health for
Sure.
sure.
Yeah, mental health can breed physical health. So if you're in bad spirits, you're probably not going to recover as easily from a certain exacerbation or something like that. But if you're able to keep a good mental attitude, I believe that helps you physically recover faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, makes total sense to me. Okay, so for the last question, this is one I ask everybody. Is there any other either fun fact or something specifically Chad that has either nothing to do with CF or everything to do with CF, but just one little extra tidbit that you'd like to share with us today?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with CF. But, everybody in the quarantine had to figure out something new to do, right? And, everybody has this new skill. And I didn't really feel like getting a sourdough starter and starting to make bread. So, my being Italian and I wanted to get in touch with my roots a bit, I started to make my own pastas. And so I've been, I've been doing that probably once or twice a week for the past, I don't know, how long has it been? Like 6 months this whole thing has been going on. It seems like forever. It seems like 6 years, but I think about 6 months. I've been doing that, and I'll have like, a friend over here and there, because I like to cook for people. It's kind of a thing, you show your love that way, like cooking a nice meal. My roommate really enjoys it, and my friends love that I just drop by bringing them pasta. So it's served everybody in my bubble pretty well.
That's great. I'll have to see if you can do some delivery.
I'll bring it. Don't worry. Anybody in the group, if they want, I'm not going to bring them like 6 pounds of pasta, but I'll bring you some fresh pasta. No worries.
Nice. Okay, so thank you so much for just taking the time to share a little bit of yourself with us here today. I really appreciate it. And it's been so great to get to know you a bit more through our conversation. And it's one of the pleasures of being able to do these interviews. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I think that, even though our group is small, we need to stick together, and we have a lot in common, more so than we may think on just on the surface. It's not just about the illness, but everything that we've been through in life. I think that serves us and makes us unique people. And so we all need to stick together.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And on that note, that's usually one of the reminders I give too, is just to remember that we're all in this together. We're here for you in the community. And if there's anybody else who would like to share some aspect of themselves or do one of these interviews with me, you can go ahead and PM me. But in the meantime, just take good care, and we'll see you next one. Thanks.